Hi everyone, my name is Caroline Dragonhawk and welcome to a new video where we will be picking up a brand new horse for the ranch who will eventually become a lesson master in our horsemanship program. I am very excited to meet him. His name is Yuno and he is a 5-year-old Appaloosa who was rescued by the team at South Hill Farm. So without further ado, let's prepare the float for the journey. First and foremost, I prepared a hay net for Yuno since the drive is about an hour, and I also threw in an extra carrot just as a little treat. I then grabbed a halter from our tack room that I spent way too long organising because it was a mess and needed some much TLC. Then I went and checked that the back of the float was closed securely, that the tail lights were connected, and I also hung up the hay net for Yuno. We finally made it to South Hill Farm, and after a quick chat with Hugh, he assured me that Yuno had practiced floating 100 times and there were no dramas at all. Guys, when I tell you my inner horse girl exploded when I seen him, I'm not exaggerating. He stood so calmly and patiently at the fence with little to no worries in the world, and of course I had to have my little girl giggle. When I put the halter on him, I felt like I didn't even need the lead rope. He followed me so calmly and willingly, almost like he knew he was coming home with me. Like Hugh said, he got on the float like it was his 100th time doing it and went straight for his hay net. I said my goodbyes to Hugh and thanked him on behalf of the ranch. We made it home around noon and Yuno was literally falling asleep in the float until we got out and he perked right up. We walked extra slow to the pen he would be spending the afternoon in just so he could take in the sights, smells and sounds in his new home. Once the sun started to set over the Firgrove Mountains, it was time to bring Yuno into the barn and settle him in for the night. When I went out to catch him, he was already standing by the gate waiting, and just like at South Hill Farm, I felt like I didn't even really need the lead rope. He followed me willingly into the barn and into his stall where he made himself quite at home. A new day and new possibilities, but also Yuno's first ride here at the ranch. How exciting. I didn't really have much planned for us simply because he was still settling in, but there were a couple lessons that morning, so I thought I would take the opportunity to take him over some poles and just get to know him a little bit better. I already had one of the girls get Yuno out of his stall and I 100% took the opportunity to tack him up myself. We started with some cruisy lunging just to warm him up a little bit, and he was amazing. He was focused on me, responded really well to my cues. He only really spooked at some butterflies but quickly brought his attention back on me. I tightened up the saddle girth before I got on because heaven forbid I fall off because of my saddle. How embarrassing. The walk to the large arena was nice and laid back. There were a couple times we needed to stop for a second, but after some encouragement and reassurance, we made it. And that was pretty much the bottom line for the session. With some encouragement and reassurance, Yuno tackled what I had thrown at him. He responded really well to my leg aids. He was super soft in the mouth and flexed beautifully around the corners. I found myself naturally talking to him, and even some of the other ranch hands called me weird, but I honestly didn't care, and still don't, because Yuno did amazing for his first ride, and I truly am honoured to have been the first person to ride him and report back to the manager that he will make an excellent lesson master. After a short walk back to the barn, I untacked Yuno and gave him some much deserved love. Thank you everyone for joining me on this little adventure. You will definitely see more of Yuno and his progression to becoming a lesson master. I hope you have a wonderful night, morning, afternoon, wherever you are in this world, and I will see you in the next video.